Hi, and thanks for watching the video. I made this video for DJI to show DJI how my drone crashed, and also hopefully they will answer to me and you how a perfectly normal condition drone in flying in normal condition can crash by itself in the ocean. This is the last video I made above the Leon Cathedral um, using the point of interest mode. As you can see, it's perfectly smooth and normal. After that video, I decided to upgrade the firmware and get a gimbal error. As you can see, I sent that video to support to show that my gimbal was acting out by itself. It was resetting itself and was sending an error in the UI. The previous cathedral shot that you saw was perfectly normal with a smooth landing, so I was really annoyed that my gimbal was acting out because I was going to go to nice locations by the Caribbean Ocean. I figured that I could still do a few flights but not record video, but maybe take a few shots since the gimbal was stable for a few seconds until it acted out. And with the gimbal error, I was limited to take photographs because there was no stable gimbal recording for video, but I was able to do 3 successful flights and take a couple of shots that you can see here. My last day of vacation, there was a beautiful weather. I was on this beautiful beach. You can see my kids in the background, and I decided to take a last flight. As you can see, the weather was very calm. There was no wind, no obstacles, and the background behind me was a forest. Basically no interference or anything whatsoever that you should have been a problem for the drone. This is a snapshot, a screen capture of the DJI Go app of the flight record. In this version, it actually shows the satellite map in the background. I'm not sure why when I recorded the video, the DJI app didn't display the map anyway. Here's the flight, and you have to imagine on the same beach. I was standing on the beach and the drone is flying off perfectly normally, and you can see the controls that I used, and at this point I basically turned back the drone towards me and was flying off to about a distance of 80 meters or 250 feet. I was completely able to see the drone. So I turned back here and basically fly backwards and took a first picture. You can notice the gimbal is fluctuating, and that's due to the error I mentioned before. But when the gimbal was not doing this, I was basically able to take a picture. So I took a first picture, then I went backwards again to a distance of around 85 meters, about 250 feet. I was flying at 27 meters, or 80 feet high, very low height, and that's the first picture I took. You can see my kids actually in the water, and you can continue to see the flight. From there, I decided to turn to my right, go backwards a little bit and turn to my right, and my goal was to take a picture with the boat that was there that you saw in the first picture. So I went to my right and took another picture from there, and everything was normal. As you can see, I was 30 meters high, which is 90 feet. That's the second picture I took. Everything was normal. And then I decided to go down a little bit to capture the boat and change the angle a little bit. So I went down to 20 meters, and you can see here there's no control other than trying to get up the drone, and the drone started to spiral. It actually flipped itself in the air and completely going down, and you can see the altitude to -2 meters, which was effectively 2 meters under the water. I was very lucky. My son was in the area. He was actually able to very quickly swim there and actually get my drone. This is another capture from the DJI app. You can see the spiral pretty well on this. And that's it. There was no wind, no interference. It was next to a forest. I've done about 200 flights with my Mavic in the last 6 months, and I've had a few heated situations when I needed to use return to home, but obviously never the drone going out of control. In fact, it's been very stable. So if you're like me, I'm really curious to see what DJI is gonna come up with, because I think it's pretty dangerous for people to fly the drone if they start to spin out of control after you upgrade this firmware with no hardware issues other than a gimbal error. So that's my story, and I'll let you know as I send my drone to DJI what the response is.